there are 4 NFL GM vacancies, Ike. And so like we did with the coaching carousel last week, we're going to talk about what the most appealing position will be. So the 4 vacancies are the Raiders, the Vikings, the Giants, and the Bears. Of those 4, Ike, I know that you're very high on Chicago and Justin Fields, but of those 4, Raiders, Vikings, Bears, and Giants, which is most appealing in your eyes?
I'm still sticking with the Bears. I'm still looking at Justin Fields. I'm still looking at all they need is a tight end. They got the receivers. They got a running back. They need a defense who can stay healthy. And all you need now is a tight end, basically a tight end. You know, they need a tight end. They probably need to get a D tackle for the Bears. But other than that, give the man another receiver that he can groom and grow up with. Give him a tight end that he can groom and grow up with, and get you a D tackle who can solidify that defense sitting in the middle. So that's exactly I'm still rocking with Justin Fields, because I listened to what the players say about this young man, and they was talking nothing but sweet news when he came in training camp. And it's hard for a veteran. It's hard for a veteran to like a young guy, because you feel like, man, this guy either coming in cocky or he needs to earn his stripes. The fact that he had offensive linemen, the fact that he had defensive linemen saying this guy is the one, they're already seeing what we can't see because they see him every day. So that's why I'm sticking with Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears, because they're only missing a few pieces to get to where they need to get to, and that's at least the playoffs.
Defensive tackle will definitely be an area of need for the Bears, considering Akeem Hicks is due to become an unrestricted free agent, Ike. And the parallel I would make for Steelers fans is Akeem Hicks is to the Bears defense what Cameron Hayward is to the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, that force in the middle of the field where the defense really, really starts. So whether Chicago brings him back, 32 years old, we'll see. Or if they don't, you've got to figure out a way to fill that void, because he's been very stout when he's been on the field for Chicago. Struggle a little bit with injuries. Now, Allen Robinson, the receiver, also due to become an unrestricted free agent. But if you let him walk, like you said, Ike, maybe you can draft a young receiver or get someone on the cheap to develop with Fields, who's a little bit younger. Allen Robinson, a very well-established Pro Bowl veteran receiver for the Bears. But the Bears also have $40 million in salary cap space this offseason. So they have the financial flexibility to do what they need to do to make upgrades there. A head coaching vacancy as well. So we'll see what happens in Chicago. Talk about a team undergoing a lot of changes. Pick, Ike, here. Go ahead, Ike. Hop in.
Don't be surprised if Chicago get one of the Georgia Bulldogs D tackles. It's January 19th, 2022. I'm going to go on and call it early. Don't be surprised if they pick one of them 2 big boys from the Georgia Bulldogs. They'll win the national championships. It fits perfect what they want to do, regardless of whether they want to go a 3-4 scheme or a 4-3 scheme. Them 2 guys can play either or, a 3-4 or 4-3. Watch what I tell you.
Jordan Davis is the player you're talking about for the Bulldogs. And then, oh man, it was like a who's who of like, this guy's a first-round draft pick. This guy's going to be a first-round draft pick. This guy's going to be a first-round draft pick for that Georgia defense. You talk about like heat-seeking missiles and flying to the football. Like I'm fired up now, man. Like this is great. Clairvoyant Ike Taylor. No, check that. Psychic Ike Taylor, January 19th. We're recording this January 19th right now. So I'm not even going to say if this happens. When this happens come April, I'm coming back to this clip and linking to it. Just be like further proof that Ike Taylor is a psychic.
I appreciate you.
Ike, in terms of the vacancies, I'm going to go away from the Bears. I'm going to go to another team in the NFC North Division. Give me the Minnesota Vikings, and here's why. You got 3 great weapons, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, all under contract for several more years, all younger in their career. Aaron Rodgers, across the division, 38 years old. Is he on his way out? Is he still disgruntled for the Green Bay Packers? We'll talk about that here in a second when we preview their playoff matchup. And Kirk Cousins is only under contract for 1 more season. So if you can bring in the right quarterback to Minnesota with all of the weapons that they have, a new head coach as well, Mike Zimmer's gone, I like that Vikings job considering the talent that you have on the offensive side of the football and what you can do if you bring in the right quarterback. It could be a marriage made in heaven for the Minnesota Vikings. I take the Minnesota Vikings as most intriguing of all the GMs, the GM vacancies.
Nah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but yeah, they do got to get a quarterback. And
easier said than done. I'll be the first to admit that.
I would consider, and I know the Baltimore Ravens still have Huntley rights, but I would consider Huntley. And if I'm the Minnesota Vikings, I would love to get a trade for Huntley, because now you have a motor quarterback. He had some experience last year with the Baltimore Ravens. His receivers will be 2 notches above in Minnesota than what he had for the Baltimore Ravens. And his defense wasn't bad at all. You give this guy who is mobile, Huntley, who is mobile, have some good experience. He had some action in passing every week to week. He was getting better when it came down to his passing game. So you give him a Justin Jefferson and some other receivers sitting over there, and the boy can move, and you got Dalvin Cook sitting right behind him. Boy, I'm telling you, you get your offensive coordinator to go with Huntley sitting in Minnesota with them receivers they got over there, but you're cooking with gas.
Cooking with gas, Ike. I love that. Weekly reminder, the Giants do have 2 top 10 picks in the 2022 draft, but that salary cap situation they're going to need to sort out. Good luck to the new GM, because you've got about $77,000 in salary cap space, Ike. So whoever becomes GM has his work cut out for him.